stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab, your ride, your way.
Good morning. You're welcome to this fresh edition of the Psalm TV Morning Show. And today we are going to be giving insight on a very, very important issue that has to do with life itself. And today is 2nd of August, 2025. And we're shining a spotlight on a matter that literally gives life, that is breastfeeding. And as the world marks World Breastfeeding Week, which flagged up on the 1st of August, we joined the global conversation under this year's powerful theme, Prioritize Breastfeeding, Creating a Sustainable Support System. And joining us in the studio is a woman on a mission, a voice for maternal and child nutrition, a certified nutritionist and dietitian representing the Institute for Dietetics in Nigeria, Taraba State Chapter, in partnership with the Taraba State Specialist Hospital and proudly Psalm TV. Our guest for today is Grace Stephen. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
You are welcome to the morning show today.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I'll tell you, stick around as we unpack the importance of exclusive breastfeeding, the societal myths, and what a sustainable support system really looks like when it comes to breastfeeding for mothers, babies, and our health system. So just grab your coffee, your kunu, whatever it is that makes your morning. And if you're the type that likes to eat heavy in the morning, you can grab a plate of tuwo and just sit somewhere. Call the women, the young, the old, and everyone in the family must partake in this morning show, because this is about life. This is about the babies. This is about the present and the future. So let's go into this life-changing conversation right away. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Once again, you are welcome to the morning show.
Thank you.
Well, before we go far, can you just introduce yourself?
Okay. Good morning, viewers. My name is Grace Stephen. I'm a registered dietitian and also a nutritionist. I'm the chairperson for Institute for Dietetics in Nigeria, Taraba State Chapter. And I'm also the head of clinical nutrition and dietetics with the Taraba State Specialist Hospital. I am a fellow of the Institute for Dietetics in Nigeria, and also a member committee on the Taraba State Food and Nutrition. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. So this week, starting from yesterday, 1st of August, was the World Breastfeeding Week, where we'll be marking it all over the world. And I'm sure Taraba State is also partaking in this, and that is why she's here. Now, let us go very simple. What is breastfeeding?
Breastfeeding is a name, or is a word that is being described as a process of feeding an infant from 0 to either 2 years or beyond. So this is what breastfeeding is. When a mother gives birth to an infant and she puts the baby on the breast to suckle, we call it breastfeeding.
Okay. Yeah. Now, this year, the theme of the World Breastfeeding Day is Prioritize Breastfeeding, Creating a Sustainable Support System. So how do we prioritize breastfeeding? Because maybe some people may think well, technology has come, innovation has come. We should have moved to better ways of feeding kids than breastfeeding. So what is this all about?
Okay, well, just like I said, breastfeeding is a way of feeding an infant from 0 to 2 years of life or even beyond. Now, the theme for this year is prioritize breastfeeding, and there's need for us to create a sustainable environment where we need to encourage breastfeeding. We are not just talking about breastfeeding, but we are talking about exclusive breastfeeding.
Okay.
And this is a method of breastfeeding where an infant receives only the breast milk from 0 to 6 months of life, without water, without any other formula or any other food, with the exception of maybe if the child is sick, maybe he can go on some kind of drugs. But when it comes to exclusive breastfeeding, it's strictly only breast milk. The reason for prioritizing breastfeeding is because the importance of exclusive breastfeeding cannot be overemphasized. We want to have a healthy future. We also want to have healthy children. And because we believe that when we have healthy children, we're going to build a healthy society.
Definitely.
Now, we can only achieve this if these children start getting the right food at the early stage of their life. And because it has to do with building of hormones, the brain development, and other things that has to do with the human body. Now, by the time the human system does not receive those required nutrients at the early stage of life, a lot of things are about to happen, which can also expose those infants to the risks of even some kind of disease condition. Now, when it comes to breastfeeding also, it has a very important, it's very, very important because it plays a vital role, not just in the life of the infant, but also in the life of the mother, even in the life of the family, and even in the society. So for the child, for the infants, one of the benefits of breastfeeding, most especially exclusive breastfeeding, is that it helps in the brain development of that child, because the breast milk is not exposed, it's saved, it doesn't go through any process per se, and we may likely say that there are possibility that on the process of trying to process it, maybe some kind of bacteria, so maybe virus, whatever may have come in contact. But in this situation now, the breast milk is saved, and the breast milk itself contains a lot of antibodies that helps in building the immune system of the infants. So if we want our children to have good immune system, it starts from the childhood. That is from 0, that's the first stage of life. So exclusive breastfeeding is very, very important. Now to the mother also, it helps in natural family planning, whereby you see a mother that is breastfeeding exclusively, in most cases, about 70%, they don't menstruate, which is another way of natural family planning. Yes, it also saved the mother from being exposed to cancer of the breast.
Oh.
Yes, because once the baby doesn't suck, the breast milk now becomes much, and which may make the breast to have engorgement, which is very hard and sometimes can lead to pain. So, but the more the baby suckles, the more the breast is becoming more relaxed. So, and in the case of family, one of the advantage is that it saves costs and it makes the family to also plan, even towards saving resources for other things. At least the mother will be the one eating and the baby takes it from the breast milk. Unlike maybe when you have to start buying artificial milk, and we know how expensive things are now. Currently, nobody is finding it easy. So, but breast milk is cheap and you don't need to buy. At least the mother carries it everywhere. So she doesn't need to carry any extra bag or anything. So these are some of the reasons why we are saying that there's need for us to prioritize breastfeeding, most especially exclusive breastfeeding.
Thank you very much. Well, I think for we the men, this is very important. No extra cost, no extra package. Well, that is why I said everybody should be interested in this exclusive breastfeeding. Now, we've talked about the positives of this exclusive breastfeeding.
Yeah.
I would like to throw 3 quick questions wrapped into one. Number one is, if this child, the infant is breastfeeding, does the infant needs water? That is one question. Can you add water to, or the breast, the milk is already contains enough water? That is one. 2, does this have any adverse effects on the mother? Okay. Then, the mother and the child. Okay. Does exclusive breastfeeding have any adverse effect on the mother and the child? And then 3, what kind of feeding does the mother need to ensure that at least the milk contains everything it needs to help the child grow?
Talking about water, the breast milk is complete.
Wow.
Yes, the breast milk contains about 70% water. Okay. Now, the breast milk is divided into 3. We have the first, which is the colostrum. It comes very thick and is yellowish. This is the first breast milk that comes immediately when the child starts sucking. And this contains more of antibodies, which helps to boost and fight against infection. And we normally call it the first immunization that every infant need. So initially then, women don't know. So it was looked as if it was a bad milk. So it was mostly expressed and thrown up. But research and science have shown that this very breast milk contains a lot of antibodies, which helps to boost the child's immune system to fight against infection and any other diseases that may come not only now, but also in the future. Now, the second type of breast milk that we have is called Hind milk. This Hind milk is mostly contains the water. That's the 70% water. Now, when a mother is breastfeeding, apart from the colostrum that comes out early, when you put a baby on the breast milk, what you see now is that the breast that comes out looks very watery. It's not thick, it's very, very watery. That is the 70% water that it contains in the breast milk. Okay. Now, the third one is called the Hind milk. This Hind milk now is very thick, which is the 30% food that the child needs. So because the breast milk contains 70% water, there is no need for giving extra water at the early stage of life. That's why we said from 0 to 6 months of life. This is because the body of the child needs to build very well and to also avoid infections coming into the life of that infant. So if the breast milk contains 70% water, there is no need of giving extra water. What we just advise or advocate is that there is need for continuous putting the baby on the breast milk. You just have to keep putting the baby on the breast so that the baby will keep sucking more. And that's why we encourage at least it should be 15 or 20 minutes from each breast. When the child sucks 15 to 20 minutes here, you can now turn him 15 to 20 minutes.
That is a 30-minute stretch of feeding.
Yes, or maybe 40 minutes. It depends on how the child needs the breast. And one of the advantages that you can see even from the picture, like the positioning, it's also very important. When the child is not well positioned, the child will not really suck the breast very well. Most of the times, women breastfeed while keeping the baby on the nipple. And you can see from the picture here is that it's not the nipple. The nipple is just a pathway where the breast milk come out. But the areola, which is the black that covers the milk, it's where the mouth of the baby needs to hold on to, which now help in extracting the breast milk. So the more the baby stays on the breast, he takes more of water and also the food. But when the baby doesn't stay longer on the breast, the baby now takes more of water, which is the Hind milk, the fore-milk, which is the fore-milk. Now, the more the baby stays on the breast, he takes both fore-milk and Hind milk. So there's no need for water. And for the effect on a mother, it doesn't have effects on the mother, but I think one of the complaints with that and challenges that mothers normally receive when it comes to exclusive breastfeeding or breastfeeding is when they don't normally have the supports they need. And sometimes time factor, depending on the kind of job the mother is engaged on. So there's no any effect on the mother.
On the mother.
Yes.
Now, what kind of diet does the mother need?
All right.
During this period?
You know, in the case of nutrition, we always advise that even during pregnancy, there's what we call nutrition before pregnancy. It means that you need to prepare the body even before you take in as a woman. Then during pregnancy too, there's need for you to eat a complete nutritious food. We call it my plate method. At least, even if it's not complete, let it be adequate.
Okay.
Your protein, your vitamins, your carbohydrates, fats and oil, everything should just be there. But even if we can't find it all in one package, but at least let it be adequate. So for a mother to have a good breast milk, there's need for her to eat healthy food, healthy meal. I always tell mothers that, breastfeeding mothers, that it is what you eat that the baby suckles, the baby gets from the breast. And if you want to have a healthy child, you need to eat healthy food. The local available foods are also healthy and nutritious. We don't need any processed food. We don't need any foreign food before maybe you can have your healthy breast milk. No.
Okay. Yes. Okay, thank you very much. Now, with all this, the most important thing is, will the woman be available to do all this? Because society now frowns against full-time house. This is not a period whereby you keep a woman at home, where especially, like someone like you who has a lot to offer to society. I don't think it would be good for you to just stay at home throughout this period. So and then institutions don't longer give women enough time while they are during this period. So what are the things that, one, society needs to do to ensure that, yes, the woman is supported during this period? So what are those things that organizations, even the husband, the family, and everything, and everybody needs to do to support the woman during this process? Okay.
This is where we talk about creating a sustainable environment for all mothers, most especially breastfeeding mothers. Till today, I know we have organizations that don't even allow breastfeeding mothers to bring their infants to their places of work. And this is where we are calling on the government to bring out policies that will support women, most especially breastfeeding mothers, to bring in their children. And Federal Ministry of Health have created that platform and has also, I think, tried to see how almost every organization, parastatals, will create nutrition space. And yes, in almost a baby-friendly space. And this is to encourage breastfeeding mothers so that we can achieve this 6-month exclusive breastfeeding. And another thing is that there is still advocacy for 6-month maternity leave, at least for also achieve this exclusive breastfeeding, because truly it's not easy. And for other states, it has been implemented. And thank God for the governor of the states, Abu Kifas. He has also taken it upon himself, and also our beautiful wife of the governor, to Her Excellency, she has taken it upon herself to also make a push for this 6-month maternity leave. And not just that, I think even the paternity leave, the 2 weeks paternity leave.
I was going to take you up on that.
Yes, the 2 weeks paternity leave too is also there. The governor's wife has also tried to see how fathers, and the governor has also embraced it, which he has also pushed it to the House of Assembly to look into it. And we are saying kudos to him for that, to see how it can be passed into law. And one of the risk factors for children who doesn't receive good breastfeeding at the early stage of life is that it can lead to so many health complications. And these children can also, they are prompt to be exposed to malnutrition, weak immune system, and so forth. So for the husbands, we are also calling on the husbands that there is need for them to support their wives. Surely it's not easy.
In what way do they support?
they should be available. They should be around.
Okay.
You know, the wife needs you when she's breastfeeding. There are instances where the mother cannot sleep because the baby is crying. And we expect that the husbands should show in their care at that time. The wife needs your love, your attention, your time. At least carry the baby, help her hold the baby, and let her also have a sleep and rest. Because she needs it. You know, throughout the process of pregnancy to 9 months, sometimes it can be difficult for some cases, but for some cases, it's a little bit easier. Now, what the mother also needs is for her to have that support also again during breastfeeding. And some children can be a little bit, you know, difficult during breastfeeding. Because you see a child that doesn't want to sleep, he wants to be on the breast milk for almost, you know, as much as he wants to have, and the mother don't have that time to rest and maybe sleep. So I think I'm calling on the husbands. This is a call for me, and I think all the women to the husbands, that we need your support, and even the family too. The mothers need their support whenever they are breastfeeding, because it's not always easy. Maybe either you can support by cooking, you can also support by even taking baths.
No, definitely. The world, if you look at the world now, women are being encouraged to contribute more to the finances of the house. So definitely men will also have to support in that aspect.
They have to complement.
Definitely they have to complement. And also we will plead with you women, why you are advocating for 6 months for breastfeeding women. Now you can say that men too are part of the breastfeeding process. So maybe you should advocate for breastfeeding fathers to be given more extend our paternal leave.
That's what we are advocating, but we are also urging the men that if that if it has been implemented and we start the process, please let the men be available so that the women,
the breastfeeding fathers, so that they start calling us that name, so that we know it's our duty.
The breastfeeding fathers should be available so that the women will also feel the impact of their husbands. When a woman have that support from her husband, believe you me, it makes it easier for her to achieve a lot. Sometimes women don't achieve a lot because they don't have support from their husbands and even from the family. And it can really drill the energy from you. A woman who is breastfeeding, she'll wake up early, make sure she puts your cook for you, puts your bathing water, you know, try to even wash your clothes, do a lot for the family. And maybe that's not the only child. So a lot are involved. And if she's also a woman that has her own business and she needs to look into it, sometimes it can really drill energy. So I think the men have a very greater part on this aspect, and also family. And our mother-in-laws too, they also have a role to play by giving their full support.
Okay. Well, I think for those of you who don't know, I know that breastfeeding creates bonding between the mother and the child. Like me, right up to date, when you spoke about kids that like to, up to date, when we discuss with my mom, even while I had kids, she would say, this one is like the father. The father did not allow me to rest. And I have this fantastic bonding with my mom. Because for months during breastfeeding, she said I was the child that never allowed her to rest. So there was this bonding. So it creates bonding between the child and the mother during the breastfeeding period. And I believe it is one of the things. I took enough milk. That is why today maybe I can do the things I do.
And not even just to the mother. I think for fathers that are also around during breastfeeding, there's also a bond between the fathers and also the child and even the mother. And it also brings the family together, the unity and the love.
So what's your final words for the father, the mother, the society at large concerning this?
My final word is that I know a lot of women, we used to call them community doctors, or shall I say street doctors. I don't know the name to call. People who advise some, most especially young mothers. You don't need to do exclusive breastfeeding. It's this, it's that. When you want to start initiating food for your baby, the baby finds it difficult to eat. Please, there is nothing like that. What we need is healthy children. We need healthy children to grow a healthy society. Because when a child is sound, it helps a lot and it makes that child to perform excellently well. And the breast milk contains all the nutrients that your infants, your babies need for their own growth and also for the body development. I'm calling on the government that please, they should create policies that will help women to achieve this exclusive breastfeeding, most especially by implementing the 6-month maternity leave for women. And also by also looking at the breastfeeding fathers also, by giving them the opportunity, 2 weeks paternity leave for the fathers to support their wives during breastfeeding. I want to also call on the husbands that we need your support. We need your support. Your support will go a long way to see that this is being achieved. We want to have a healthy home and also a healthy society. We can only achieve this if the fathers are together with us during breastfeeding. So I'm also calling on the society that we should help by encouraging mothers to practice exclusive breastfeeding so that their children will grow and have a sound mind, a sound health, and also a healthy future. This is all I can say.
Oh, thank you very much
for
this wonderful presentation you've done. Well, this is how we wrap up this special edition of the Psalm TV Morning Show, dedicated to the World Breastfeeding Week. And a heartfelt thank you to our guest, Grace Stephen, FIDN, for enlightening us on the role of nutrition policy and collective support to women during breastfeeding. Then, remember, breastfeeding isn't just the duty of the women. It's the duty of the family, the father, the relatives. It's because in Africa, we can do without our relatives. Society also has a role to play. The government has a role to play. Institutions, private institutions, public institutions have a role to play to ensure that there's a sustainable, there is a conducive environment for proper breastfeeding. And the advocacy is exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months for the baby. So this is where we will wrap up today's edition of the Morning Show. Remember, breastfeeding isn't just a woman's responsibility, it is everybody's responsibility. So thank you for joining us. I am Abraham Mainojoda. Good morning.
Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing SuperCab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng